So, welcome to part 2, bore sighting. I have removed my bolt, and what I've done is I come out into the garden and I have placed a simple target. It is about 30 meters away. The further the better, but when you're limited to your garden space, then that's all you have. But obviously if you can't do that, if you haven't got the garden length to do it, then you will need to find somewhere else to do this. If it needs to go to your hunting ground, then you need to do it, but don't do it down the road. Whatever you do, people go mad. So I'll just show you the target at the far end, and then I will focus down onto the rifle and show you what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to use that to bore sight. Filming here. Dogs. Right, bore sighting. We've seen our target. Now what we need to do is make sure that our sight is genuinely pointing in the right direction. And there is only one way to do that. And it sounds a bit daft, but this is how it's done all over the world, whether it be a tank or a rifle. And this is the same principle all the way through. And what we're going to do is we're going to support the butt of the rifle, we're going to remove the caps, and we're going to look and position this rifle so I can look down the bore, looking down at my target, and hopefully see the little black dot through the barrel. Then what I'm going to do is look through my sight. I'm then going to adjust my sight nice and steady, nice and carefully, until it actually ends up pointing at the same center, or the dot itself. So look through the barrel, see the dot, look through the sight, focus in on the dot. Once I've done those, and I keep looking back from one to the other, I'm then happy that my sight then is genuinely in the right direction, and when I do squeeze the trigger on my first round, that I'm not going to go off target by a considerable amount and cause damage or even maybe hurt someone. And this is how we do it. I'm actually pretty happy with that. This rifle is already zeroed before I took it apart, and I know that it was going to be pretty close, and it is pretty much spot on. However, if I did need to adjust it now, I would simply move these accordingly, wouldn't I, girl? With the dog's help, of course. And I would move these, click left, click right, click up, click down, until my sight picture came onto what I was looking through my bore, and I know that's perfectly fine for me. And that's bore sighting complete. So apologies for my crude drawings, but just so that you could get a little bit of a better understanding of what I could see through my bore and through my sight picture, was basically this: somebody winking at you. Now then, this would be the A4 piece of paper at the bottom of the garden with the black dot in the middle. And just a crude attempt at rifling and the outer barrel. And basically that's what I could see. That's what I was looking at. The rifle was made steady, and I could see that picture. And through the sight, I could practically see this picture. The edges of the A4 just about visible there, the black dot in the middle, and of course the outer picture on your crosshairs. And that is what I could see, and I was comparing the two. So, look through the bore, see that picture, look through the sight, you can see that picture. And I adjusted, or you would normally adjust your sight onto the target by using the adjusters on the side of your sight. Okay, I hope that explained it a little bit better for you. Okay, let's have a quick recap then where we are. We went to the shop, we found our suitable rifle for the quarry that we're after. We had a look at the rifle, we inspected it, we ensured that it was in good working order, that there was no visible damage. We then brought it home, we got our sights, we got our mounts, we mounted our sight, and then we carried out our bore sight. And I'm confident now that I can zero this weapon at 100 meters right from the word go and pretty much be on target and find my mean point of impact and adjust accordingly to get on target. Now I am going to actually go into that more depth later on. However, what we do need to do is look at the marksmanship principles. Before we move any further, before we start firing this rifle, we need to consider what makes us shoot right, what makes us shoot correctly and gives us a true hit on target. Now the Americans do a very similar thing, they word it differently, but the principles are exactly the same. And the marksmanship principles are as follows. 1. The position and hold must be firm enough to support the weapon. 2. The weapon must point naturally at the target without any undue physical effort. 3. The sight alignment, i.e. aiming, must be correct. 4. The shot must be released and followed through without disturbing the position. There are 4 marksmanship principles. Every time you squeeze the trigger, if you apply those marksmanship principles, you will probably hit the target. There are, however, other items or other factors that you need to take into consideration that can also affect the bullet's trajectory. Range, wind, rain, and generally the outside elements and you, the user. These are the other things that can really get in the way when it comes to shooting. And that's why the marksmanship principles will give you your best edge. But there are other skills you need to learn as well. And maybe I might go on to those on some later videos. But again, we are now diving into the realms of the professionals. And that's why I said at the beginning of this series, I take nothing from those guys whatsoever. They have forgotten more than I know. I think then we can call that end of part 2. Let's look forward to part 3, where we will be applying the marksmanship principles in turn to try and give us the best chance at shooting our quarry. See you then.